is enough to get you hyped, even if it's been a World Cup that has been somewhat flex-soiled by some of the issues around it. Like, we understand a few of you are having some issues hearing us on YouTube. Apparently, we are back up and running on the audio, so let us know in the chat at talkSPORT S-Word if you are now hearing us as well. And look, I totally understand, and I will talk about the issues over it, but they have to hope that when the football hits the field, when people get out on the pitch, that's what ends up doing the talking.
Well, yeah, because that's what makes fans almost forget about things that have been happening in the moment. It happened in Qatar. There was a lot of negativity from so many going into that tournament, and having attended it in mass as well, in covering so many games that you were able to go to during one day, which we won't see for a long time, because especially with World Cups like this that are spread out, it was unbelievable. You know, there was so much made about, there's no alcohol, there's this, that and the other. And it was the games. I was so happy that the games lived up to expectation. There were shocks, there were unreal performances, and we'll talk about that during the show. So for this, I just feel that I'm kind of torn between, we want the World Cup to be as big as possible so it's accessible to many, and the more teams in it, the more dreams that are made, it's great. But then I'm now thinking, I think the beginning of this is going to be a little bit like the Club World Cup. Where, do you remember when Bayern Munich beat, is that team from New Zealand or was it Australia? Yeah. They won their Champions League, whatever the Champions League is in Australia /
the
New
OFC,
Zealand.
Yeah,
they won that. So they're champions in their own right. And Barca gave them 7 or 8, something like that. And Elise was like asked, should you have, maybe he's like, no, we're here to win.
should you have taken your foot off the gas? Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Football players are going to say absolutely not.
I think we're going to see that. Jordan, Curacao, Haiti against Brazil. That's a game, right? Yeah, that's the same group. Haiti against Brazil. It could be 9-0. So it's like, do we
Let's
want
not write
to
off
see
Haiti
that?
against Scotland being 9-0 while we're here.
Well, yeah, that's true. Haiti got a good chance there. Do we want Shebahn, don't tell us that. Do we want to see, is it going to look like bullying? That's all I'm thinking about. In terms of the spectacle of football, we'll talk about all the other stuff. I'm just thinking about the beginning bit where some of us, there's just going to be no point.
I think my problem is, and you can talk about the romanticism of this whole thing, right? You can talk about the expanded World Cup and more teams having their opportunity. But how have we held tournaments in literal police states in Russia and Qatar? Had all the stadium concerns we had in Brazil, all the security concerns that they had in South Africa and in Korea and Japan. And yet this feels like the World Cup that's been in the most jeopardy in the last 20, 25 years. And you see the visa mess of recent days, right? Yeah. The Omar Artan being turned away at the border, the issue of Iranian fans having their tickets taken away from them. It is a story, first and foremost, about US government policy, right? That is what it is about. But for all of this, FIFA has to be held responsible. Gianni Infantino's cowardice, his spinelessness, his cravenness towards Donald Trump over the past 10 years as they built up to this tournament. Do you know, when the World Cup was held in South Africa in 2010, they had to literally waiver bylaws, policies, processes, put special legislation in place specifically to meet FIFA's hosting requirements. And those special laws, they weren't just in place for South Africa. Korea and Japan had to do the same. Germany had to do the same. Brazil, Russia, Qatar, all of them had to basically say, this is meant to be the world's tournament. That's the theory behind it, the beauty behind it.
It's for everyone.
We've got to open our borders up. We've got to let people in. And yet somehow the Americans get away with not doing that. And the reason it makes me so angry is because Gianni Infantino stands up in front of us. I spoke to him on the red carpet when we were out at the Super Bowl, and he tells me it's going to be like 104 Super Bowls. The world is going to be united. His strapline is literally football unites the world. And yet, for all these proclamations of football being a unifying force and all the blind eyes turned to human rights issues and slavery issues at the other World Cups, now when it comes to the USA, they're allowed to keep their laws in place. They're allowed to treat it as they want. And you get FIFA turning out and saying, well, we're not involved in the host immigration process. We don't get involved in those things. Those can only be handled by them. You got involved in every other one. Why not get involved in this one?
It's picking the sides. This is what I'm saying. It's that favoritism. You know that the relationship, like you touched upon there, that Infantino has with Donald Trump. Do
you know something I found out today? And this was The Athletic reported this. For the past year, FIFA have leased an office on the 17th floor of Trump Tower in New York That office is sat all but empty. The rent goes into President Trump's family business, but soccer officials tell us that space sits largely idle. So essentially, you're telling me you can paint this any way you want. That is essentially, we're just paying money towards the Trump Foundation straight out of FIFA pockets for a space we're not even using because it's all just about keeping them happy. That is astonishing to me.
People are seeing through it. It reeks of hypocrisy. And this is why in a game that is supposed to be for all, in the world's largest sport, the world's most popular sport, it feels like it's being ring-fenced. It feels like it's being closed off. It doesn't feel unified. I don't feel that unity. So that is why you're getting all of these question marks going in. And then, of course, there's all the geopolitical issues that are going on, etc., that are making it where countries can't even come there.
A lot of people have cited this. Indonesia was stripped of the Under-20 World Cup in 2023 because they refused to allow the Israeli Under-17 team entry because of all the geopolitical issues that were going on. FIFA at the time said, it's due to current circumstances, right? And America haven't done anything that severe, right? I hate that Omar Atan, Somali referee, probably the best referee in Africa from what we understand, has had his dream of refereeing at World Cup taken away from him. And the scenes of him getting back to Somalia, coming off the plane, the treatment he got were absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But you've got a mega strike planned in Mexico to start the World Cup because of their issues. And honestly, if I really hope that when football hits the pitch, we are like, yes, football is back, the festival is here, the atmosphere is here. But if we see half-full stadiums, if we see more of these visa and work issues, if we see fans not being able to travel and get tickets, Infantino should step down at the end of this World Cup. He should walk away from it.
He already should. But I don't, and this is what I'm saying, Will, I don't think that that's going to happen from this because it's too late. It's too late. They're not reversing any of their decisions in the light of let's listen to the fans. This, we've got this wrong. Let's look at this. I went onto the FIFA website yesterday just out of curiosity, signed up and went onto the ticket resale part of it where you can get sort of last minute tickets. So I clicked on Scotland Haiti. I thought let me just see. Because everybody's made so much about dynamic pricing, it's too expensive, and I know people aren't going to be lying, but I want to see for myself.
But that's what the ticket prices are in America. I mean, yeah, if you're going to an NBA Finals, if you're going to Scotland, Haiti, if I'm going to an NFL game and I'm going to see the Browns against the Jets in Week 15, both teams have 2 wins all season, I'm paying $5 for a ticket, $10 for a ticket. I'm not paying $1,000 like I am to go and see the best teams in the world. Yeah. For this, I love the idea that people can get in to go and see those games, and yet we're going to have half-full stadiums. I mean, sorry, how much were you seeing when you go online?
£575.
And look,
500. Then
Scotland travelled brilliantly, and there will be so many Scottish fans there, and they will probably pay it because they're at a World Cup.
Oh my gosh!
And the Tartan Army are wonderful, but it's exploitation.
It's exploitation. And then I clicked. Thought, let me click one of the better games to have a look.
Yeah.
Brazil, Morocco.
I don't think I want to know.
£1,400.
And they're not good seats.
No, they're in the nosebleeds. So it's not accessible for the people who make the game. It's not accessible for the people who consume the game. So we are going to see half-empty stadiums. Also, with how vast and spread out it is, of course, the heat and stuff, I think the quality of football, I think the pace of football is not going to look great in a lot of games. And again, no disrespect, but because it's so vast, the standard, I think, is going to be bad. But I say this, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, because there were negatives going into Qatar. And like I said, I went to it and I loved it. And I'm about to go to America, and I know that it's going to be enjoyable. But these issues, though, don't feel like they're going to be eradicated. They feel like they're set in stone. Like, even the ones going into Qatar, I was very much like, come on, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Like, this is what you're telling me, this World Cup, like, they've built all the stadiums. There's amazing transport links. And if you want to, you might not be able to watch every single game. Minimum 3, because I was doing 3 a day, but you could watch 4 games in a day. We were leaving stadiums, getting content done, and jumping on a bus. They had amazing bus routes, 3 or 5. If you got your ticket, they'll take you to places. Uber's amazing, not too expensive. What you're telling me, I mean, I could have that much football.
But even then, the original deal with the US was that transport would be free, like it has been in Germany, like it was in Qatar.
And instead they're quadrupling the prices.
And then they rolled back on that, and they said, oh no, because it's going to be a costly World Cup. And I know we're in a different world now, and I know post-pandemic, compared with when they did, like, there are so many concerns. And I totally understand when the New Jersey Metro say, why should our taxpayers pay for this bill? But The amount of money coming into those areas, it's astonishing. Anyway, we've started the show very negatively. I love that you're all getting in the comments on this. We love to hear from you, and we will get to those comments as well on talkSPORT and talkSPORT S Word. However, England are playing tonight. Friendly against Costa Rica. Last time we'll get to see the boys play before the opening game against Croatia in a week's time.
Yep.
Thomas Tuchel has told us 60 or 70 minutes for the starters tonight. There's a separate friendly being played against Miami United behind closed doors where they're going to rotate the squad players in and they're going to see more playing time to get more used to the heat. Fascinating. This has all been got, by the way, by Faye and the team out there. Sensational work from them.
Brilliant.
Who starts tonight? Who do you want to see start tonight ahead of Croatia next week?
I want to see the starting team. So it's got to be, of course, Pickford in goal. It needs to be Reece James. It needs to be... Right, hear me out on this. Gahey, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm in two minds about the John Stones thing.
For me... I wanted to see John Stones get more than 45 minutes the other night. I say start John Stones, even if you're thinking of starting Ezri Konsa next week, just so he can get 60, 70 minutes. Just show us. Get it under his belt. Prove that he's healthy.
I need to prepare, Will. We need to start on the foot. We need to start on the right foot. We need to start with the starting team. I'm going to go Konsa.
Okay.
I'm going to go Konsa, yeah. Because I've just got question marks over how fit John Stones is. But to see him start the other day, play 45, he might start him again. It's going to tell us a lot, but I'll go with Konsa. Of course, O'Reilly, left back. I think the midfield picks itself in terms of the two, Declan Rice and Anderson. For me, it's Jude Bellingham all the way. I don't understand how it's not. I don't understand how we've arrived here where it's potentially not Jude Bellingham. Well, I do. It's Thomas Tuchel's ideology of how he sees this team. That's it. But Morgan Rogers, it's not a hill to die on. Morgan Rogers is a top player. And Morgan Rogers is not going to be the reason why there's a catastrophe for England in the group stages when it's not. Like, we're playing Croatia, no disrespect, it'll be a difficult game, I get it, but, Ghana and Panama, we'll get through whether Jude plays in the 10 or whether Rogers plays in the 10. But in the big moments, in the big games, it's Jude all day. So Jude should be playing for me. 100%. So it would be Jude for me, but I think he's going to go Rogers. Saka has got to start. He's saying he's playing through the pain barrier, so maybe they got to manage him. Maybe he might not start. I don't know, but I'd like to start him. Of course, Kane, and it has to be Rashford.
Has to be Rashford. Has to be Rashford.
Who else is it going to be?
Anthony Gordon.
No.
£70 million.
Be serious.
Just gone to Barcelona.
Be serious.
Replacing Marcus Rashford, who they wouldn't pay $30 million for.
No. It has to be Marcus Rashford.
But Anthony Gordon, Marcus Rashford, right?
Whoa, what's happening here?
Love his style of football.
What's happening here?
He's much more direct. He's going to make those runs into the box. He's going to crash the box. He's going to do all that stuff that I think in the World Cup we need him to do.
Yeah.
I want to see what Anthony Gordon offers. I want to see him getting to the byline. I want to see him pulling the ball back. I want to see him supplying.
The bottle of
this World Cup. If England are going to have any success at this World Cup, it's going to be about supplying Harry Kane. It's going to be about Harry Kane winning the Golden Boot, getting 6 or 7 goals, him being the superstar, right? And that's the same with Bellingham, right? Again, Bellingham, great box crasher. I wouldn't hate playing him in the 8 and playing Rodgers potentially as a 10.
Yeah.
I would back that, particularly against the quote-unquote lesser opposition, right? But it's all about getting the one truly world-class player, hands down, no questions asked. I think Bellingham's world-class as well, but injuries, everything else, in your team performing, and I think,
and we got a better chance of doing that with. I think Gordon.
I think Gordon crosses into the box. Kane with his aerial dominance. I'm just saying it could be the solution.
You think that there is a world we live in, right? That Marcus Rashford is not a better player than Anthony Gordon, and is not better for England than Anthony Gordon.
Barcelona seems to think so.
Mate, Barcelona are a mess right now. Look, I know they've won the league, but in terms of the decisions they make and the economic levers they're pulling and financial levers they're pulling every year, I wouldn't go off that. Anthony Gordon has been and never will be better than Marcus Rashford. Like, we need to.
So why isn't he playing for United then?
Well, that's a different story, because that's an internal thing where he's a Manchester boy, he's lost his way, he wants to leave, he's had ups and downs, etc., etc. I'm not saying Rashford's the best in the world. We're only talking about Anthony Gordon and him, by the way. That's as far as this goes. It's not Rashford against the world's best, etc., etc. Anthony Gordon versus Marcus Rashford is a no, because it feels like I'm being disrespectful to Anthony Gordon, because I actually don't mind him, but we have to stop. Like, he's not on levels of Marcus Rashford.
They offer two different styles to me, and the reason I want to see Gordon is because I didn't get to see him the other day. I didn't get to see what he offered when he's with Kane. I want to see that pairing, and I want to see what they offer.
When he plays, he's giving it away, getting the ball taken off 2 left feet, bottle of fizzy pop. Like, I just. If you ask a right back, who do you want to play against? Anthony Gordon or Marcus Rashford?
Depends on if you can show him to the outside. If you're a right back who's good enough positionally to show Rashford to the outside, then you'd take Rashford all day long. If you're not going to let him crash inside, if you're not going to let him go inside you, then, that is Rashford's game.
Anthony Gordon's amazing at going on the outside of his left. All of a sudden, he's this amazing assist getter. What's going on, Will? Have you got... That heat wave's gone. It's now cold in England. Pouring down with rain. So the sunstroke and heat stroke is not an excuse for what you're telling me.
Look at my skin tone. Sunstroke and heat stroke is always an excuse. These studio lights are giving me heat stroke. What are you talking about?
Okay, so maybe it's that. Maybe I need to get on to the producers in here.
Get the AC turned up.
This is too much. Why have we spent so long talking about this?
Can I be really clear?
Yeah.
Against Croatia next week, I'm starting Marcus Rashford.
Right. Why are you starting Marcus Rashford?
Because I don't buy into this. And this is, you're going, it has to be Conte because that's what they're starting next week. These are players who play with each other and against each other week in, week out, who know each other incredibly well, who train together. This idea of chemistry, that you're going to build so much extra chemistry because you get an extra 45 minutes against Costa Rica together.
I'll take your point.
I want to see what the difference is. It's the same reason that...
We're not going to learn anything at this stage.
Rio Ngamo is a prime example of this, right? Why wasn't he in the 55 when we saw what he can do? He could be special, he could be different, and that's going to cause big question marks. Yeah. I just think Anthony Gordon offers something different, and there's going to be games where he's going to need to play. It's 7 games to get to a World Cup final, not 6 like it normally is. It's going to be the hottest World Cup ever, the longest World Cup ever, the biggest World Cup ever. We're going to need to rotate guys in and out. I just want to see what Gordon offers when he's starting with the starting 11. I think that's perfectly acceptable. You seem to think I'm mad.
Well...
Right, Shebahn Aherne joining us. We're going to talk Scotland in a moment. We can pick this back up later. Let us know what you think in the comments at talkSPORT S-Word on YouTube, the talkSPORT YouTube channel, and everywhere else where you can find us. It is a multitude at this point. Up next, we'll get the latest from Scotland and what it's like in North Carolina in that heat with Shebahn Aherne.
The S-Word with Will Gavin and Master Tesfacion from talkSPORT. Sport presents the S Word. High energy exchanges, fiery fan reactions, and the biggest football debate. The S Word from talkSPORT.
It's all right, I wasn't just talking to Master about how we do the studio in here. It's all right, it's his first time. One day out from the World Cup, super sub coming in, flexing me.
He's confused. I told you.
I'm leaving.
Sunstroke.
I'm out of here. See you later.
Yeah, it's too hot. Crazy bad takes.
Gordon over Rashford.
Gordon. Honestly, someone come and sort Will out, please.
He's not telling you that off air he admitted to me that he forgot we were talking about the warm-up game and not about Croatia. So you know what? Rubbish. Who's rubbish? This guy. Will Gavin, flex alongside me, bringing you the S Word live every single day of the World Cup from 8 till 10 a.m. Eastern, 5 till 7 Pacific. And you're going to be able to find us. But within sort of an hour or so after the show, there'll be a video up on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Tubi, plus loads of clips across both our YouTube page, plus the Fox Soccer YouTube and socials and everywhere else as well. If you can't access this show, I don't know what you're doing, because we are literally everywhere. We're on Sirius XM FC.
No excuses.
Thank you to those listening on Sirius XM who can't see that I'm pointing at them. We're on TuneIn Radio. Same thing. Pointing at you. You're only listening to us. We are absolutely everywhere because we are massive. Getting in the chat, Patio Joe, a regular on the show. Love it from Patio Joe.
Patio
Good morning
Joe.
from the boys in Los Angeles. He gets up at 5 a.m. to watch us do our thing. What a man.
Well done, Patio Joe.
A lot of people getting in the comments about our conversation about the World Cup. Rich Benjamin says, wait until you see what happens mid-tournament and then game over. I don't know what he's talking about. What's going to happen mid-tournament?
Heat exhaustion?
What does Rich Benjamin know that we don't know? And Aidan says the only team who have sold out all of the group stage right now is Argentina. It's absolutely wild.
Crazy support there. A lot of the South American teams will. You know, that's why when you look at underdogs as well, you've got to look at a lot of South American teams.
Someone was talking about hopefully Mexico don't top the group so that we don't have to play Mexico in Mexico City in the last 16.
Don't want that smoke.
If they finish second or third, their likely games are going to be in Los Angeles and Dallas. You don't think those stadiums are going to be 90% Mexican fans? You don't think those Mexicans? You don't think those are going to feel like Azteca?
They're going to take over. They were crazy in Qatar as well.
Even when they've played the US on US soil, it's been like 80% plus Mexican fans. So don't get me wrong, they are going to be wild. Let's get a view though from North Carolina, from Charlotte, where the wonderful Shebahn Aherne is with the Scotland camp and joins us now. Shebahn, thank you so much for joining the show.
Let's go, Shebahn. Let's go.
Oh, Trips! Hello.
How are you
from
avoiding
Charlotte?
How are you avoiding the heat stroke? That's the big question, Shebahn.
Yeah, because Will's not avoiding it here.
Well, guys, I'd like to say I'd have you outside, but Mama might have misjudged the timing. Still can't count to 5 and work out a time difference. So you're actually in my bedroom just now here in the lovely city of Charlotte, which is a bit like a home away from home. Yesterday, when we were wandering around and acclimatising and getting used to it, I thought, this is just like a little Glasgow. I see you, Steve Clark. I see what he's doing. It's a lovely little place. And since I've brought you into my bedroom, which is the coldest part of Charlotte, I've turned the aircon off so you can actually hear me. So now I'm sweating already.
So we're not
and I
have
hope
long
you
with
don't
you
see
then.
it on this dress, on the old underpits. But we're great, guys. We're great. It's honestly stunning here. I really, really like it. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to dereg and we're going to head over to camp. It's about a 10-15 minute drive from here at the university halls, and they've got a lovely setup. Actually, earlier on I was out for an early morning run. Don't worry about it, before the sun came up.
It's going to be
and ran
33
past the
degrees there
Players'
today.
Hotel.
I'm not sure I'm keen on an early morning run for you, Shebs. You're going to be all right.
It must have been about 25.
Well,
didn't
that
it?
was it. I've got to get it done now before the sun comes up and I have an excuse. And I was getting my bearings right and trying to get the place all together. It's a cute wee town, I have to say. You guys would like it here. And we want commission because every person from Charlotte we speak to, we're telling about the S word. So you should have even more viewers today, and we would like a backhander. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's coming your way 100% when you get back here, which will be when Scotland are knocked out of this tournament. So, the headline question, Shebahn Aherne, when's that going to be?
We're going to get out the group. Well, I'm confident about it. We've been thinking about it since the groups have been out. We're coming out the group. I mean, we have to, guys. This is the first time we've played attacking football. We've scored 8 goals in our last 2 friendlies. Haiti were battered by Curacao, and we battered Curacao. So I think we actually have the ability to go and beat Haiti in our first game of the group and start strong, get that confidence. I feel that there is a bit of confidence just now in the camp. You can feel it, especially up front with Lauren Shankland and Che Adams and their link-up play and that friendly against Bolivia. It does feel that there's a bit of momentum going forward. Let's do all we can against Haiti. We'll probably struggle against Morocco, that's likely. And then you never know against Brazil. I mean, we keep having these conversations that Brazil aren't the Brazil of old, but then don't underestimate them. Of course, we won't do that. But if we could nick a point and score as many goals as we could in the first game against Haiti, I think we'll get out the group and I think we'll do okay from that. I mean, it's going to be tough, whoever we get in the last 32. The conditions will play a part as well. Honestly, if I'd taken a shot for every time the word conditions have been mentioned or has been mentioned in this build-up to the World Cup, man, I'd be stocious.
Do you think there's too much on that, Shebahn? Do you think there's too much on the conditions? You know, you talk about they're highly tuned athletes. You know, people have been going, or these players have been going to different countries to play in tournaments for many, many years. Are we overdoing it with the conditions, or actually do we need to understand that really this is actually going to be a huge factor? It's just annoying hearing about it.
Well, yeah, I'm not an athlete at all, right?
You are. I've seen you play paddle. You are an athlete.
Shock news. My 6-hour marathon, not an athlete just yet, but I did do the marathon in hot conditions. But today, actually, at one point I stopped and thought, oh, hold on a minute, I'm struggling to get my breath here. It's such a dense heat. Now, these guys, you know what it's like now. You know, they've got the best equipment. They've got the best testing centres. I watched, your man Roman Kemp, Martin Kemp's son from Sky. He went into one of the chambers where they pump up the heat and put him on the treadmill and then measure, you know, the differences when you go to a city that is as dense as this and what will be Boston or Miami and how it does affect the body differently. So, of course, I mean, it will be a challenge for the guys, but from what I could see on the on the Scotland YouTube channel yesterday and from the open training session, they all seem to be having a good time. They're being looked after. They've got the best in the business around them, making sure that they're not going to get heat stroke or dehydrated. So I think they will be okay. But yeah, of course, I mean, we're proper Scottish, pale, pasty, ginger, freckly, the rest of it. Obviously, it's going to be hard for us, but we'll get the job done. We'll have a good time along the way.
He's already been digging me out for all of that on this. I'm basically, honorary Scottish or Irish anytime they're in a tournament because everyone looks like me when they pop up on our screens. Shebahn,
we need to do your blood test and find out whereabouts you're from in Scotland. Actually, what clan you're part of, Gavin.
It's all Irish, I'm afraid. It's all west coast of Ireland. You can't claim me, I'm afraid, Shebahn Aherne. Listen, I do want to know about your experience getting into the country, your experience there so far. Does it get the feeling that without it being a host city, is there like a World Cup fever taking on there? Are people excited about this?
It's very quiet, I have to say. I wish I could bring you some bustly, busy, bouncing bar watching football, but last night, for example, the women's USA team were playing and I thought there would have been more of the sports bars around the area even showing that, but soccer isn't really happening here in Charlotte. Apart from Dean Smith, of course, he's based at Charlotte FC. I was watching clips of John McGinn yesterday speaking to locals in the area, saying my gaffer, my original first gaffer at Aston Villa, who gave him my debut, he's based here in Charlotte at Charlotte FC. And you know, even the kids he was speaking to were a bit like, oh, okay. Like, even they didn't know that. So it's very baseball heavy. You know, they have their other sports that take priority. But we will find some fans today. And as soon as we go to Boston tomorrow, guys, it's a different situation. I mean, it's a host city for a start. This is a base camp. And we know Steve Clarke. We know he likes to keep the guys out the way. It's even a very quiet town. I mean, even producer Sam yesterday was saying it's so strange that it's like 5 p.m. and it's a really quiet, sleepy type town. But I don't know about you, I quite like that life.
We went to see the Carolina Panthers there a few years back, and I tell you, when the game's on and there's barbecues everywhere and there's people are turning out and tailgate stuff, it gets raucous. But the days around it, nothing going on. It's a lovely. I really like Charlotte, but
strange,
it is
right?
Not a huge amount happening there. Shebahn, we appreciate your time. We know you need to get off to training. Go and chat to those Scots. Make sure they're surviving in that weather. So we appreciate your time and have the best one.
Guys, repeat after me. No Scotland, no party. Steve Clark starting army.
As long as you
right,
haven't
get out of my
started.
bedroom. I'm sweating.
As long as you haven't started, I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Then we're all good.
Such a legend.
Let's do it, guys.
The brilliant Shebahn Aherne joining us on the S Word here from talkSPORT. So good. By the way, the great Dean Smith. I covered him on my first ever job in football. Was doing commentary for Walsall on their online players.
What a journey.
And back then, and before Sean Dyche had the moniker, he was known as the Ginger Mourinho by all the League One fans then. So maybe he's the right person to talk to about the weather out there. There's another story I want to talk about while we had a moment here, because we've been following the Real Madrid situation, everything happening with Florentino Perez, everything happening with Kylian Mbappe so closely since we started the show. And the developments of the last 24 hours are wild, right? So Florentino Perez tells the world, I'm going to bid 150 million euros for a top-tier player, a Galactico-level player, to come and join our team if you still vote for me.
Wasn't lying.
And he gets back in as Real Madrid president, and he gets back through the door, and everyone thinks it's Michael Olise, and Bayern Munich say that's absolutely not happening.
Yeah.
Real Madrid put out a statement yesterday, and I'm going to read it exactly. It says, Real Madrid announces, following a meeting held with the board of directors, it made an official offer 150 million euros to Club Atletico Madrid for the federative rights of player Julian Alvarez. Yeah. After reviewing and evaluating the offer, Madrid expressed its gratitude for the proposal made within the framework of the good relations between both clubs and has rejected it, referring to the player's release clause. To which the Atleti social media account put out a sensational statement on their social media, which had, one, they cut out the part of the Pope's video where he said he was an Atleti fan. You have confused education with gratitude. We leave you in no doubt, and we don't thank you for anything. We neither study nor consider any offer for Julian. How could we not get along when you make us laugh even more than Barca does? And then as a PS to it all said, taking advantage of the good relationship with your new president, let's see if you'll stop stealing players from our academy. Thanks a lot, Real Madrid. And look, that statement said a huge amount about they went after Barcelona hard when they came for Julian Alvarez. They're doing it again with Real Madrid. Yeah. But there has been some speculation. There has been some Real Madrid fans who think maybe Florentino Perez
is going to pull this off.
Well, no, less so. And the president of Atleti, I'll come and I'll bid 150 Julian Alvarez. Real Madrid don't need Julian Alvarez. They have two left wingers already. It's already a problem that they've got Kylian Mbappe and Vinny Jr. and they're trying to cram them into the same team. Julian Alvarez would be a terrible signing for them unless they're going to sell one of those players. I'm going to come bid 150 million. You bat it away. Yeah. Drives up the price with Barcelona. You get a win out of it. We get a win out of it because I wasn't lying. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that seems like that has some credibility to me.
We have to start thinking crazy things like this because this is not real life. What's happening? This is not
real life, not real life.
Yeah, exactly. This is real life. Like this is the biggest institution in football. Let's be honest, right? Behaving.
That's a Man United fan saying that, by the way. Just want to be really clear.
It probably is, yeah.
Got that on record.
It probably is, right? You could be argued, and they're literally moving like a soap opera. Like it sounds like 14-year-olds on their phones who got the accounts, who got the keys to the admin, put that out. You know, the comms department sound like they're about 15 as well. Let's put this out. I know what would be good. Let's do this. Perez is acting like a 15-year-old child as well. They're just all like teenagers just having fun, but they're at the top table of football. So we're forced to go down your line of thinking with this.
I like that I'm now being branded with this.
Yeah, no, because you know what? It makes sense, Will. It makes sense. Let's destabilise Barca because there's no way that they want Julian Alvarez. There just isn't. There just isn't. And like you said, Atletico Madrid as well, they've already rebuffed Barcelona saying no and they're trying to do it. What actually, Julian Alvarez himself, what's going through his head? Because he's trying to prepare for a World Cup, right, with Argentina. Trying to win it again.
Expected to be one of the stars of the tournament.
Expected to be one of the stars of the tournament. He's made it very clear he wants to leave Atleti as well. That is a fact. And Barcelona have had 2 bids now, I think, rejected. Yeah. So he does want out. What is he thinking? What? This is a mess. My plans are scuppered. You know, there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are like,
I think we can all be thankful that the 150 million euros has been turned down because it makes it very unlikely he ends up at Arsenal this year.
Yeah, exactly. That cannot happen. And a 500, what's he got? A 500 million?
Something
Something stupid like that. I still think he'll get his move. He will because they're just not going to keep an unhappy player. I don't think Atletico doing that. But Barca are just going to have to pay. This is why they didn't want to pay for Rashford. This is why.
But they were happy to pay for Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, because that's over 5 years. Because that's like Klarna payments. That's what it is.
They got money, brother.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If I say to you, you can buy this off me now for £250.
Right.
But
I paid about that for them, so...
yeah, they're quite heavy. Or you can buy this off me. It's a little bit worse. It does cost more. But you can have this for £50 a month for 4 years. If you don't have £250 now, it's not an option for you. It's not.
I love you explaining basic maths.
Martin Lewis needs to call me up.
Yeah. and listen, from this perspective, you're absolutely right on that. The mad thing here is Jose Mourinho coming in to take over at Real Madrid.
It's going to be brilliant.
Right? You've followed him in his night time. I think it's going to be brilliant from a, like, on the outside. They've not won a trophy, a real trophy in 2 years. Let's forget all those Super Cups.
If he gets the rubbish trophy, he's going to get a tattoo.
They've not won a real trophy in 2 years. No. Do you know when the last time Jose Mourinho won a Champions League was? 2010.
Oh, 10,
with Inter Milan. The last time he won a league was with Chelsea in 2015. 11 years since he's won one of the big two at any club. And he has been at Benfica and Fenerbahce, where basically, if you've got a half-decent manager, you should be winning the league with one of those teams. He went to both of them and lost it with both.
I know.
It's astonishing.
Invincible, one of them.
Yeah, but finished third.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you, Will. I really want him to do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't you?
Well, you want him to win, or you want him just to be there?
No, what? Both. I don't know. I'm going to be entertained either way. We're all going to be entertained either way. Because this is either going to go, he gets sacked by Christmas, or sacked as soon as the last ball of the season is kicked because they're trophyless again. Or it's going to be the special one all over again, the real special one. He's been written off. Do you know what I mean? I've written him off saying he's not top level coach. Pretty much everyone has.
Jose Mourinho underdog story coming our way.
Punditry. Should be doing. He's been on talkSPORT, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did a whole tournament with us.
Do you know what I mean? He's been on, doing World Cup punditry, etc., etc. He's been on Monday Night Football, things like that, right? How amazing would it be for football? And the great man that Jose Mourinho is that against all the naysayers who go, you're finished, you're washed at this level, and he comes back and wins La Liga when Real Madrid haven't won.
What about the Champions League?
Or the Champions League, man.
Beating Arsenal in the final.
Oh my God. Please. I apart from my own managers, I've never wanted anyone to do so well.
Amazing. I am the total opposite. I want him to go there and crash and burn, and for it to be an absolute disaster. I want him gone by January. I think it's going to be amazing.
You want him gone by?
I think it's going to be a complete and utter mess. I think
it probably will be.
But I'm excited for it either way. If it's a success,
I am in big trouble.
Yeah, if it's a success, I'm excited about it, but I'm not so sure it's going to be. Coming up, we're going to talk Man United. We are going to talk about our top 5 World Cup memories as well. Kweku Afari joins the show. Warren Barton joins the show. And we're going to look at the sustainability of this World Cup. Brilliant documentary that's just come out, Route 26, Losing Sight of the Goal. Both Alex Moneypenny and Lawrence McKenna will join us to discuss their documentary, all coming up on the S Word.
Bringing all the biggest football debates stateside. The S Word from talkSPORT. talkSPORT presents
The S Word.
Listen again and subscribe.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
And on the talkSPORT USA YouTube channel.
You're watching the S Word with me, Will Gavin, him, Master Tez Fatsi, and we're live on Sirius XM.
He's done it again.
As well.
He's done it again.
It's just pure.
He's done it again.
It's
It is an absolute. It's repetition.
Okay,
You're so used to.
We just start again. You're watching the S Word with me, Will Gavin, and Flex.
Flex Tasfacian.
Flex Tasfacian. I could government name you, but somebody asked me what your government name was the other day, and for some reason I was the only person in the office that knew. So
yeah, not a lot of people do. So you're in an elite.
Yeah, don't worry. I won't leak it. I won't spill it. Flex is his real name. It's like Master is his real name. Yeah. Coming up in the second hour of the show, we're going to be joined by Alex Moneypenny and Lawrence McKenna here in the studio to talk about their new documentary looking at the sustainability of the 2026 World Cup. Kweku Afari will be here giving us the inside track on Ghana. Warren Barton, the former England and Newcastle defender, partially joining us to talk about that shirt. It's an abomination.
Why is it so bad?
It looks like they've tried to create a shirt, Flex, in order to hypnotise the opposition. And what's amazing is Adidas have nailed their World Cup shirts. Yeah. They're so good.
They are.
And then they released Juventus' shirt today, also designed by Adidas. It's a beauty. It's absolutely stunning.
So Newcastle got short
proper
straw.
Classic. And somehow Newcastle have ended up with a rubbish barcode with some duct tape down the side.
It's always difficult with stripes. I'm so glad like the team I support doesn't have stripes, because I'm always like, how much can we remix this?
Yeah.
Like, stripes are stripes. There's not really much you can do. Maybe horizontal stripes sometimes.
Warren Barton's coming on. He played in that unbelievable Newcastle brown, the maroon and blue one as well that they had, where they did do the horizontal
real
stripes.
Football heritage. And actually, they re-released that kit, I think, this year.
Proper.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask him.
They've ruined it. They've absolutely ruined it.
Let's talk about Man United. Last time you were in, they'd just done the deal for Ederson. We talked about that can't be the only deal.
No.
Now we've heard 120 million link with Elliot Anderson. Matías Fernandes as well. 80 million pounds apparently West Ham want for him. Are you happy with what United are trying to do in that midfield?
I'm happy with what we're trying to do. Of course, the execution, we'll have to wait to see how that plays out. I'm happy with the links and targets that we're seeing in the media. That leads me to believe that we're going down the right line of inquiry, at least. But it's going to take time. When I was last in here, I said about the order of ceremonies and fans getting angry because you're not getting that player first, and then Chelsea might sign someone and you go, we're not doing anything, and people start getting really frustrated. We have to be patient. You look at Matías Fernandes, he's not £85 million. He's not. He's just not worth that. Unfortunately, though, which I do always stress, is that the selling club has the right. They have the right to place the value upon the player's head of what they deem fit. And we also have a right as buyers, as buying clubs, to not pay it, to say no, to negotiate, to not dance with them when they're playing.
I think West Ham are going to get later in this window if they don't start to sell. They're talking about keeping Souček. They're talking about keeping Jared Bowen. They're talking about keeping all of these players.
Yeah, they can't.
Like, Jared Bowen, apparently, to try and keep him around, they are offering for him to keep on his Premier League wages. That's £112,000 a week.
Yeah, it's big.
Right? The four highest paid players in the Championship last season, they were all on 60 grand plus, but the highest was on 90 grand, and they were all Leicester players and they got relegated.
Yeah. There
were only 5 players in the league who were above 60 grand. 4 of them were Leicester and the other was on loan. Like, to have a Championship player paid £110,000. So I think they're going to get later in this window.
They will, and the price will come down.
They're going to have to.
And that's why I'm urging Man United fans to be patient on this, because if we just go storming in there and say, okay, 85 million, we want to build a new midfield, here you go, would be stupid, would be idiots to do that. So we have to wait.
You've had a few occasions of that in the past.
Oh my goodness. I was going back through, I don't know why I've done it to myself, what we're doing the show this morning. I was going back through the Anthony deal again, right? It was like a guaranteed like £82 million. So
when I thought you were going to come in here and say how happy you were with the Ederson deal, I was going to poke the bear a bit and be like, yeah, because last time you bought a player from Atalanta, it worked so well. Rasmus Højlund leaving for half the money this summer that he came for.
Honestly. And this is what I mean. We've got to get a grip. So with that, again, let's exercise more patience. Let's be more diligent. So we've got a hell of a job to do to rebuild our midfield department. But I like the people that we're going after, and we can't be going in there offering outrageous sums of money. Listen, the Elliot Anderson situation, though, I'll be honest, I'm right here for it. Like, I really want this player. I think Man United need to do everything they can.
Would you pay 120 for him?
And I was going to say, there still needs to be a price, but we shouldn't pay for him, though. You know, and that is that. 100, not 120.
Yeah, but Man City might pay it.
I don't think they will.
People point to the 115 charges and the fact that Man City have like thrown money around at nobody's business and propped themselves up with the state sponsorship and everything else. But fact is, over the time of Pep Guardiola, they made back half in transfers what they spent. Right, so actually they're not a terrible business-run football club. But it has put them in a position with financial fair play and everything where if they went, do you know what, we only need one player this summer.
They can
central midfielder. We'll spend 120 million just to make sure he doesn't.
Well, it depends. And you look at how they lost out on Declan Rice. Depending on who you speak to, they walked away because they didn't believe he was worth £105 million, or they walked away because maybe Declan Rice made it very, very clear he wanted to go to Arsenal, nobody else. You have to read between the lines on that. Yeah. But if anyone can do it, of course, City have the financial power to. They don't normally buy players for over £100 million. Very rare. I don't think they ever have, actually, I want to say. Not that I remember. Even Haaland didn't cost that much. So I don't think that it's something that they're used to doing, so they're not going to do it easily, especially with the change of manager as well. And who knows what's coming up. And again, it's another thing. Mr. Marinakis can say he's £125 million, but if nobody pays it, and Elliot Anderson wants to leave, there's still a threshold of money that he's still going to want to get. Okay, I'll take the 90 plus some add-ons. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going to be a cut price, but the selling teams don't always get what they demand. Do you know what I mean?
We're not in a world as well with what's coming in with SER and what was there with financial play, where you can just go, oh yeah, fine, we're Man United, we're going to earn a certain amount of money, we're getting back in the Champions League, 120. Look,
yeah, slap that down.
We'll just do it.
You
can't do it now.
It's not. And
90 plus add-ons.
Exactly, and nor should it. But I do think Elliot Anderson is a special case where I would go up to £100 million. All the other midfielders that Man United are linked with are not that. Sandro Tonali is second in line for me if we don't get Elliot Anderson, which I don't think we will. I think he's fantastic, and Newcastle United are obviously going to drive a hard bargain as well. 100 million, because also you got to look at, it's the market, right? All of the owners and all of the decision makers, everybody's looking at it and waiting for the dominoes to fall, and everybody knows it's a midfielders market. Everyone knows that a lot of teams want midfielders and there's a lot available. So as soon as one domino falls, I think you're going to start to see a lot. So the selling clubs are saying, well, last time there was a round of midfielders going. You look at Caicedo, you look at Declan Rice, etc., etc. Enzo Fernandez, 120 million, I think he was, or 115.
With all the add-ons and everything.
With all the add-ons. This is the ballpark now. This is the new ballpark for central midfielders who are moving to Premier League clubs. So we're all in line to be charging that. What the clubs who are buying need to do is not all get together, but just refuse to pay.
Hold the line.
Yeah, hold the line. Because if somebody does something stupid, like if Arsenal say, we'll take Tonali for £108 million, then Mr. Marinakis is going to go, see Man City, see Man United. Well, if Tonali's worth £108 million because Arsenal have just paid that for him, then I believe that obviously he's going to think he's better than him. I believe Elliot Anderson is worth 130. It's gone up again. We can end up there. So buying clubs, let's be sensible.
All right, let's end the hour on something fun. Because the World Cup is 24 hours away. We are almost there. And let's do our top 5 World Cup memories. These aren't the top 5 World Cup moments.
No.
These aren't.
The ones that personal.
We've seen this done. These are the moments that are personal to us. So much so that I just looked back over my list and realised 3 of mine are from the same tournament, which is.
But sometimes that happens, though.
Which is a little bit of an aberration. But I've let it happen, and I'm going to keep letting it happen. Yeah. I don't know. Are we counting down? Are you doing 5 to 1 here?
I haven't really got like my number one. I've just got my 5.
Okay.
Because they all mean quite a lot.
You go first.
Right. Recency bias. I'm going to go with Mbappe's hat-trick against Argentina in the last World Cup.
Number 5 on my list. The 2022 final.
Oh, because I was there. It was incredible. And like, I couldn't. Do you know what? I was on the way in on the train today. I was going back through videos. It's the first time I've actually done it, of like watching some of the stuff I'd captured. Like, because when I was in the moment, it wasn't really. I'm at a World Cup final, and the way it played out with what Mbappe did, with what Messi did,
the 77 seconds from the penalty to the equal.
Goodness, I'm going to show you some footage afterwards. It was insane, and I was right behind the goal where the penalties were taken as well, with Martinez right in front of me, and all the theatrics, and it was just incredible. And I remember Argentina cruising for so long to an easy victory, and thinking, just lights out. And then they get that first penalty when Kolo Muani's fouled. And the volley is so quick after that. And then they nearly win it. Kolo Muani misses a chance. Great save from Martinez. And then in extra time, when Messi scores the tap-in, that was in front of Michael. It's all bedlam. The Argentinians are going crazy. I'm like, well, that's it. And then there's a penalty up the other end, and I couldn't see how or why, what happened, handball. And it was just incredible. But for what Mbappe did in that, I know people talk about, oh, he's a dictator, he thinks he's this, and he's got ego, and this, that, and the other. Let's have it right. He is levels, mate. Like, and even this season, he's had an unbelievable season. It's just going under the radar because
41 goals this year.
like we're acting like that's normal. Like, I know with
all the injuries, with the time missed and everything else.
With all the controversy going on, and obviously them not winning
anything. Yeah.
But he's had a great season last year, and he's had an even better season this year. But with what he did in terms of World Cup moments, to do that and put your country on your back as a previous World Cup winner, he's won it in 2018 as well. He's already been the star boy.
19 years old.
He's at 19 years old, and then to come back and do that 2 World Cups later. And be like...
It also, for me, I just put the final overall because what he did was incredible.
Yeah.
But also for Leo Messi to get the moment, to raise the trophy, to be that big separator between him and Cristiano Ronaldo, to put all that in place as well. Sensational. Yeah. I'll do number 4 on my list because that was number 5 on my list. I've got a couple of England ones which are not positive England moments.
No, they're not going to be, are they?
2002. Ronaldinho.
That's on mine.
I was 17 years old. I was in I was in the pub because back then you could get away with it.
17 years old then?
17 years old.
4 years a bit.
I had a 4-pint pitcher on the go at 8 a.m. in the morning. I bunked off school. There's no way I was going in and studying for A-levels that day. Yeah. And I saw a moment of true magic which broke my heart. But to this day, you watch it back and I'm like, he meant it all day long. He meant it all day long. It's sensational.
It was one of my honorary mentions because I've got quite a few, but it had to be on my list. Yeah. But even though I haven't followed the rules, it's not in my top 5. Because I remember being in school for that. I left school in 2004. So I remember being in school for that, and school would be paused. Like, we didn't have to do the lessons and stuff because it was before and everybody watched it. Yeah. And I just remember going, well, he hasn't meant that. This is just how has this happened? How?
It's the most devastating thing in the world, but also
so gut-wrenching.
There's something about losing to a moment of absolute brilliance.
Man,
that's just
Ronaldinho as well, the genius.
Give me one more off yours, and we're going to have to come back to the list a little bit later in the show.
I'm going to do what you did, where it's from the same tournament, because it's from last as well, and then the rest aren't. Do you know what? It's one of the biggest World Cup shocks ever. I was in the stadium again.
First game?
Saudi.
Yeah. It was on my honorary mentions list as well. Sensational.
I was with them Saudis, man. Listen. It was incredible. Obviously, 1-0 down, Messi does what he does. You're thinking, okay, cool, yeah, obviously they're going to lose.
4-5-0 here.
4-5-0.
Don't worry about it.
And they just stay in it. They're dogged. They're working hard. The fans are starting to believe behind me. 1-1. Going, oh my God. And the goal that's scored, to be fair, for the second goal, can't remember the guy's name, cuts inside. He's right in front of me, curled around. And it was just bedlam. And afterwards, I was celebrating with them. We were clowning Messi. We were going, I was going, my friend, where is Messi? Where is Messi in the pocket? We're going, whoa. And then Messi went on to win it. But he had the last laugh. But just the scenes walking out the stadium afterwards, unbelievable. One of the biggest World Cup shocks ever.
There's something about as well when it comes in quick succession like that, when you get that goal and you're like, no one can believe it. And then you haven't come down from the shock. That moment is still there in your mind. And then they do it again and you're like, no, this can't be real. This literally can't be real.
I'm telling you, it's mad.
So that's our 5 and our 4 from our list. We'll do 3, 2, 1 a little bit later in the show, but we have got a guest coming to join us in the studio as well as one. Joining us from stateside, coming up, Alex Moneypenny and Lawrence McKenna, who I've done this brilliant documentary, Route 26, losing sight of the goal, looking at the sustainability and human impact of this 2026 World Cup. Up next here on the S Word.
The daily deep dive into the world of football. The S Word from talkSPORT.
S Word.
Featuring Will Gavin and Master Tess Fassian.
And a squad of big-name contributors.
The S Word.
From talkSPORT.
Welcome back to the S Word on talkSPORT, giving something back to our North American brethren as they're about to do the biggest World Cup of all time. We talked about a little bit in the first hour of this show about Mr. Infantino, the behaviour of FIFA, everything that's happened with the US over recent weeks. And, you know, I think there's some very strong feelings about this ahead of the football getting underway. But as Will Gavin and Flex got it right this time.
Did.
Alongside me. Coming up, we're going to bring you a great chat. We're looking at the sustainability of this World Cup. Later in this hour, Kweku Afari will join us. We'll do the rest of our top 5 World Cup moments, our personal World Cup memories. And Warren Barton will be here as well. He's out in Mexico for the opening game. We're going to find out what he thinks of that new Newcastle shirt. Because it's
going to say it's rubbish. Yeah.
Well, he's playing some of the best of all time.
Yeah, it's got nothing on what he's
absolutely dreadful. But first and foremost, let's get to this conversation because the sustainability of this World Cup, all of the other issues around it have been discussed ad nauseum. And, well, guess what? There's a whole documentary looking at the sustainability of this World Cup featuring these guys. This looks absolutely cracking.
So it's sunset in Los Angeles, United States of America. That way is the Pacific Ocean and the rest of the world. This way are 50 states. We're about to host the biggest tournament in football history.
Now this is what football is about.
I want to roll on it. I've never seen this before.
The game is the same everywhere. What's the uniqueness of one place to another?
The community connect.
The land won't be able to handle it anymore.
There's so many things that we're doing to this planet that is so wrong that we could fix so easily.
My question is only how much time I have left.
Whatever you call it, this summer is going to have an impact on the way that you live. So we are going to go from this coast to the other one. As sustainably as possible, trying to find out how people really feel.
I love that little nod at the end. That little, recognition.
Seal of approval.
And the man nodding there is Alex Moneypenny, who's now sat in studio with us. Alex, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Alex, brilliant looking trailer. Excited to watch it, but tell us a bit about how this whole project came about.
This is by Pledgeable, who are a sports and sustainability charity in the UK. Lawrence called me one day and said, do you want to come on a road trip for 3 weeks with me in the US and get paid? And I was like, yes, I do. Obviously, I do.
I'd have done it before the last sentence. Yes, exactly. I'm paid. Oh, wonderful.
Exactly. But it's one of those things like sustainability in sport in general. I think these conversations can be really dry and really sort of like you hear someone talking about it and you go, and you never think about it again. And I think the sort of the goal and the thing that pulled me in, and when Loz was talking about it more, we started chatting to Pledgeable, was like using football as a vehicle to have these conversations, to arm people with sort of the tools to have these conversations, because they can be dry, they can be boring, they can be technical. And actually I hope what we do in the documentary, which is a 3-week road trip all through the US, sort of looking at different sort of issues around sustainability in the World Cup, is sort of make it accessible for people to spark conversations. Oh, I saw that documentary with people who I know from the football world, and they had this conversation about this thing, and I know a bit about that now. And that was me. I knew nothing about it.
I was going to say, what did you learn about it, and what did you know from before?
So my sister is a sustainability consultant. That's her job.
Oh, wow.
And so she'll talk to me at dinner, and I'm like, yeah.
Is it those dry conversations you were talking about?
You got me. Yeah, but it's that thing, isn't it? And you don't quite know how to access those conversations. So there's loads of different things. But the first thing in the first episode that's out, we went to LA, which is obviously where the SoFi Stadium is going to be. The US opening game is there. Bro,
it's unbelievable.
It's like a spaceship.
Yeah, it's
unreal.
Incredible.
I love how gladiatorial it is as well, because you come in at the top and then it goes down into the bowl. Anyway, I'll talk about that for hours.
Honestly, it's unbelievable. But then we went off to the Palisades where all the forest fires had happened. We met a woman who'd like lost her place of work, her house, her mum's house. And we were talking all about it, and she's talking all about like the invasive species that have come over to the US and like caused like the drought and stuff like that, and explaining all this stuff. And so towards the end of it, I was like, is this going to happen again? And she was like, oh, yeah.
Like a guarantee. She's like, obviously will happen again.
And she's trying to rebuild her home and her life, but she knows at some point it's almost certain that another forest fire will come and just destroy her home.
There used to be this idea of like, why do people live in certain parts of the world? And obviously when you get indigenous people and people have moved over years, and you look at like, you know, Inuits who live in minus 25 degrees, and they found a way to survive there and everything. But you never thought, I live in LA.
Yeah.
I live in Hollywood. This is somewhere where I should be in the most, I should be able to just survive here in the most comfort humanly possible. As long as I've got a bit of money in my pocket, I'll be fine. But
that exact image is exactly where it is. The Palace is like this really rich area of LA that's just completely been destroyed. And the mad part isn't sort of the relation to football. Is like, obviously we're talking about, what do you think about the World Cup coming this summer, etc. She's like, well, firstly, I don't really, while this is going on, it's obviously not top of my agenda. And secondly, like the lack of support, the amount of money they're piling into that while this is going on in that city and in that state. And we sort of felt that across the US. So it was, to answer your question from earlier, so eye-opening.
What was there like a common theme as you moved through America from west to east of what it's like? Were you seeing different problems in different states and different areas, or was there like one common theme, running theme that is like, this is the top of the list of one of the issues?
Yeah, so I'd say that the problems changed and the solution was maybe the common area. So LA was there's loads of other things, but we focused on forest fires. Yeah. Second episode, we went to watch Phoenix Rising, who are in the USL. They were playing at 8 p.m. and it was 39 degrees C.
Wild.
They were playing. I got out of the car and we met this like media liaison person. She was like, "Oh, they're just warming up," and I made a joke like, whatever. And she was like, no, like, because it's completely normal to them.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even think about it. Sorry, they don't even think about it, but obviously it's so incredible to us. We went to New Orleans. There's lots of there's obviously sea level rising, but also land loss down there at the bottom. That's all happening. Went to meet this incredible farmer. I can't wait for that episode to come out. Is this mad sort of like off-grid farmer in the US. It's kind of like maybe
whereabouts?
West Virginia.
Yeah, okay.
I guess a little bit stereotypical of what you'd expect.
Yeah. No, I love that.
He was incredible, but he was talking all about how things had changed for him over the course of X many years, but he doesn't really believe in climate change. That was a really interesting sort of conversation. And then New York obviously as well. So there was a lot of sort of different problems, but I guess the solution in the end, for me, I guess I come out of it feeling the individual, me putting my stuff in the right recycling bin, I'm not saying it's not important, but the really impactful stuff is the community, the stuff that people are getting together. And, a bottle bank had got together with the guys from Louisiana and they'd sort of put it all on the coastline, like got it all together to stop the erosion. Just things like that. And you go, wow, that's proper community effort to come together to stop something that's actually happening. So that was kind of the common theme, I'd say.
I think what we've got to hope, in a way, is that now people are being more directly affected. There could be rolling blackouts during this tournament because of the situation in the Middle East at the moment and because of the lack of fossil fuels available to people. Yeah. We see petrol prices going up every single day, and kind of hope that people who want to ignore it, who willfully ignore it, can actually, now that they are being hit personally, it will stop them from ignoring it, and then maybe we get the change that we need at governmental level, at the level of actually dealing with sustainability of countries. Like you say, it's great putting your right bottles in the banks and putting cardboard and everything else, but unless we hit those big headline targets, it could all be for nothing.
And I ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm part of the problem, and I'm absolutely part of the problem. But I think what the documentary, we hope, does is put this into football terms for people, to say to people, okay, you can ignore it if you want, but within, I think there's a study that came out in 2020, within 3 decades, a quarter of clubs in the UK will flood once a year, or potentially could. That directly impacts people like you and me going to see games. Like that is, what more impact could you have? And I can't ignore it then. No. So it's like putting it into football. It's saying to people, someone like, Max Dowman is just coming through at Arsenal. How many World Cups could he play in that area of the world? Like, if he wanted to have a World Cup, let's say in his 30s, in a certain area of the world, could he?
It could be reduced chances because of what's going on.
We had a legit conversation on the show last week about, is this the last Summer World Cup? Are we going to be moving to winter permanently? Because this is, you could have argued that this World Cup should have been played in the winter in the same way that Qatar was, because it's about as hot as Qatar was during certain parts of the States. Exactly. Like, it's wild.
Exactly. And you think, Loz made this point a lot of the time, I remember, like you were just talking about World Cup memories. Like, I remember my first World Cup memory was watching 2006 final on the sofa with my dad when Materazzi did Zidane did the headbutt on Materazzi. And I imagine with my kids doing that, but it might not happen in that same way. You imagine that you will have the same experiences of football, we'll always be watching tournaments in the same way. Maybe not. And that's the thing, is putting it into football terms for people, I think makes it more accessible than just like CO2E, and everyone goes, all right,
well, what's that? Yeah.
What is that?
I wanted to ask you what it was like about the mechanics of making the documentary. You know, someone like Loz as well, who's so vastly experienced in that field, that you must have just soaked up so much like a sponge of knowledge from him. And just also like the setup, and what was it like moving across the country, trying to collect this information, trying to show this emotion, trying to show this level of detail, but with someone like Loz as well, who's incredible at that.
Yeah.
This by the way, is Lawrence McKenna, who you did the show with. I realised he was going to be on with us today, but like just to give people the context.
Yeah, and probably isn't on because he's knee deep in the edit.
He's on to the next.
Yeah, exactly. He's on to the next thing. Like he's a machine. He's an absolute machine. Like he's so. Do you know what Lawrence is really good at? So many parts of the documentary, and probably my favourite bits of the documentary, are someone would like, we'd be in a coffee shop or whatever, like not filming, and someone would come over and like start a conversation, and in my head I'm like, we're just having a chat, and then he picks something up in what they're saying, and he's like, oh, that's interesting, and he follows it, and we end up in this guy, like this artist's house, and he's like singing as a song about like, I'm not sure I can say it on the radio. Like, and you know, talking, but that gives us such a, you know, because part of this is about culture and American culture, like real American culture, and things like that. He's so good at following that. But yeah, the mechanics of it. It was literally us two and another guy called Matt on the camera, and we all got. So
it's just three of you.
Literally three of us.
The whole film was done by three of you.
And we're very lucky. We all got on really well. Like, and there was not even one bit of tension, which was lovely. But yeah, it was just three of us. Loz on the camera sometimes. He occasionally let me hold the camera when he finally.
Did they make the edit? The bits where you're holding the camera, did they make the edit?
Yeah, I doubt it. I'll be honest, I doubt it.
Look, we really appreciate you coming in and taking the time out to speak to us about it. It sounds fascinating. I can't wait to watch it. Where can people find out more? Where can people watch this?
So a couple of things. I'd firstly go to, I think it's pledgeable.org. Katie, if I've got that wrong, forgive me. But Pledgeable certainly are a UK sustainability charity doing amazing stuff in sport, and they're really worth checking out. And then you can go on YouTube, go to Lawrence McKenna's channel, or to Pledgeable, or to The Different Knock, and it's all, you'll see it there, either collaborated or on the videos.
Brilliant stuff. I can confirm pledgeable.org.
Pledgeable.org.
Just give me a quick check. You got it right. Well done. Appreciate it. Brilliant stuff. We really appreciate you coming to see us. The brilliant Alex Moneypenny. Yes, that is his real name. Yes. Joining us on the show, and we're really excited to see this documentary. Thanks so much for sharing it with us.
Thanks, chaps.
Wonderful stuff. All right, up next, we will give the rest of our top 5 World Cup memories. Kweku Afari is going to be with us. We're going to talk Ghana, one of England's group mates, and also a little bit of England as well, I'm sure, with him. And then later in the hour, Warren Barton will be here. We're not just going to talk about the horrendous new Newcastle shirt. He's there in Mexico City for the opening game. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about England as well. All still to come in this final hour of the S Word.
Around here, we only use the F word.
talkSPORT presents
the S Word. 2 hours of full-on football dialogue.
Every day,
talkSPORT presents
the S Word.
I was just telling Master about our interview with Steve Nash, which, if you've not seen, is up on the S Word YouTube page. Over 100,000 of you have already watched it. Get in the comments. Let us know what you think of that as well. Brilliant stuff. Thank you again to the guys behind that documentary. Check it out, pledgeball.org. Big thank you to Alex Moneypenny for joining us in the studio. It's Route 26 losing sight of the goal. We haven't finished our top 5 World Cup moments, though, Master. So just for people who are just joining
again. He said Master again.
Oh my God.
Do you know what? The next time he does it, right, we just got to cut his mic completely off and send him out the studio. No pressure, Will Gavin. All right?
Lucy, the brilliant Lucy on the other side of the glass. If one of your social clips today isn't a supercut of me calling Flex Master, then I think the world will be disappointed. Oh God. Anyway,
each time it gets more subtle as well. The first one was like a shocker. Then it's getting less and less.
If you missed the start of our list, we both had 2 each so far. We both had the 2022 final in our top 5 moments. Our memories. I had Ronaldinho lobbing Seaman in 2002. You had Saudi Arabia beating Argentina because you were there in the stadium. Let's get into our final 3. You can go next. What's your next one?
2014.
Okay.
Brazil against Germany, semi-final.
Why are you so sad about it? This was one of the great moments.
Do you know what? Because it was,
7th heaven, football hell. It was unbelievable.
Because still to this day, and it was crazy. I was looking back at some of the footage of it to remind myself of the emotion. It's people crying in the stands. The players are crying. One goal says, just falls down, just being like, God save us. It's one of them games where you think, well, 2 people must have got sent off, or do you know what I mean? But just that complete capitulation on home soil. Brazil haven't won it since 2002. And you're like, this is it. It's in Rio. It's the semi-final. It's a sea of yellow shirts. Like, the Germans must have thought, I don't know, this is a big ask. Like, we've beaten some people to get to this, but this is a big ask. 7. And it was just... You can't call it an upset because it's Germany. Like,
you can call it an upset because of the size.
But in terms of the size of the win,
of course you can.
And the demolition job, people like Cruz, Andre Schürrle probably scored the goal of the lot, left-footed stanchion and in, and it was just like, Sami Khedira was getting in on the act. It was just a joke. And I know that version of Brazil, wasn't maybe the best version of Brazil that we've seen. Of course it wasn't. Well, they got stuffed 7-1. But, it had Oscar in there. Hulk was on the right. Fernandinho was playing. I saw Willian was an unused sub. Like, David Luiz was in tears. Maicon. Like,
it was national mourning.
Honestly, yeah. Like, they had to have days off, to the point where when Oscar scored, people were celebrating. They were celebrating. That was just... to this day, I still don't know how it happened.
So I said I had a few from the same tournament.
Yes, go on.
For me, I toyed with 2 from 98, right? Owen's goal was one of the ones that was in mind. And that whole game, Sol Campbell's header, I've never felt a moment of more elation than that, followed by more devastation. I really thought he'd won that game and we were going to win the World Cup. But the 98 final, from all of that was the first time I remember a news story before a game being so dominant, with Ronaldo, the rumours of the seizure that it turned out he had, still playing in the game. But the pair of Zidane headers, the delivery from Petit on the first one, just sensational. Just that France team raising to dominance. That was my first World Cup I really remember is 94, but I was like, 13, 14 years old. You're at that real height of football fandom. You're really engaging in it. And the last one had been, middle of the night games. This was at prime time.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful. So the 98 final is up there for me.
Yeah, I have 98 in there. It's between, of course, Beckham getting sent off.
Yeah.
And Michael Owen scoring. Mine was Michael Owen scoring.
Yeah.
My first World Cup that I remember is 98. The first football tournament I remember is Euro 96. I lived in Wembley at the time and I could hear all the roars from the stadium. My mum always says that's when I got into football, in Euro 96. But obviously a couple of years after that, France 98 was incredible. And Michael Owen, just as an 18-year-old,
announcing himself
bobbing
on the
and
world
weaving
stage
through like some of the world's best as well. It's against Argentina, mate. This is not, no disrespect, this is not against Haiti. You know,
why are you hating on Haiti so much today?
They've got a hard time coming, just like a lot of teams do. But we'll get back to that. It was just incredible, and the goal that he scored just to announce himself as this unbelievable striker with the goal that he scored to send the country into absolute bedlam. I just never forget it, man.
It's funny you mentioned Euro 96.
Yeah.
Because Euro 96 for me, again, 12 years old, the height of summer, me and my buddy Danny Miller watching all the games around at his mum's house, out in the streets playing football afterwards, was, I think, the last time I thought I really felt like England were going to definitely win a tournament. That is until 2018. And the renewed faith I had. Colombia penalties, followed by a 2-0 doesn't sound like a cakewalk. I've never seen England so comfortable in a knockout game than they were against Sweden. I was in East London. I was in a warehouse with hundreds of other people, big screen up, beers flowing, and even the way I feel about this England team now, and I think we've got such a tough tournament ahead of us with everything, but I see that we have the talent to win this. That 2018, I fell out of love with being an England fan, and 2018 renewed my faith in England. So I've encapsulated that whole knockout stage, even though we lost it in the end.
It's mad that our most memorable moments as England fans are always of they're all nearly moments, because in our lifetime we've not done it. It's just, it's that penalty shootout, it's that goal that got us through to that round, and then we lost. But no, I hear you on that. I think have I done all 5?
No, I think you've got.
Oh, the last one. Well, obviously, it's the Zidane headbutt on Materazzi. That has to, because that is one of the ones of it's on everyone's, let's say, top 10, maybe even top 5 moments of World Cup. Of course, if you're going real bad, Hand of God, you've got Baggio missing, and there's a heartache for Gazza. Remember the iconic scenes when he cried. There's a lot. Pele's in there, but that headbutt, I remember watching the game, right? And, you know that Zidane's sort of on his way out as well.
Mm-hmm. And that World Cup, for Italy in general, it's always remembered for that, but the Cannavaro masterclass. Every minute of that World Cup was just sensational.
Yeah, they were unbelievable. But just how it happened and how quick it happened, and you would question, you were just you talking to the person that,
is that real?
Is this real? Obviously AI wasn't out with them, but it's if that happened now, you would go, is that AI? Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest to ever do it, is going to go out like this. And then it transpires after we learn about, he said some things about his mum and this, that and the other. And it was you kind of respect it. Mm-hmm. In the end, it's I don't care. You see this thing called football where you lot laud me and I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. My standards and principles and morals is what's more. And if someone disses me, they're getting a headbutt. On the biggest stage possible in football. Do you know what I mean? And he did it, and the rest is history.
I was chatting to producer Ollie before the show about our lists, and I was like, that was on my list initially, and I was like, I either want that or the 98 final. I can't decide which. I need a Zidane moment in there. Yeah. And he went, it'll definitely be on Flex's list, so don't worry about it.
It's got to be.
No, so I said the right name as well.
Yeah, you did. You're getting better at this.
My number 1 isn't an England moment. It's not a final moment. It's none of those things.
Is it Vuvuzelas?
It's Vuvuzelas in 2010.
Actually,
no, of course it's not. Of course it's not.
I was like,
that's worse than Anthony Gordon. Come on.
Is it Suarez?
It is.
With it.
After Argentina have beat England at 98.
Yeah.
And my heart is broken and my soul is crushed. And I'm, a tertiary Tottenham fan via my dad. So no love lost for Arsenal players. No. And when the ball comes over the top, and Dennis Bergkamp takes that first touch to catch it inside and then curls it into the top corner. To this day, the fact that he almost scored an identical goal at Filbert Street against Leicester is the most astonishing thing ever. That goal, I remember running around my house screaming because I could not believe what I'd just seen. The moment, the sending off just before, everything about it was just so sensational. So I wish it could be an England moment. I hope after this summer it is an England moment, but that Dennis Bergkamp goal was my number 1.
I was reminding myself of that goal as well in the lead up to sort of prepping for this. That nearly made my list.
Oh, it's so good.
It was such a good goal, man. And it's high-level technicians, it's they're a bit of a dying breed now. We're celebrating players like Shirky for being able to manipulate the ball in a way that not many people can. And, you look at what Messi's been doing and stuff like that. But goals like that, not anybody can score them, mate. Only special players can score them. From Sunday League right up to there. Because you get some special Sunday League players who can do that. Do you know what I mean? Or people like, Lee Trundle. Yeah. Score that goal.
Does Lee Trundle have the touch to bring that ball down as it comes over the top?
Have you seen some of his goals in like League Two and that League where he does? But do you know what I mean? It takes a special type of player to do that at the absolute highest level, and that's what Dennis Bergkamp was. What a goal that was!
I love Lee Trundle getting a shout out with Dennis Bergkamp. It is absolutely unreal. Let's turn our attention to our next guest. I know he's been waiting patiently, but we had to get our finish off our top 5 World Cup memories, and obviously with it being Moon Flex, we waffled through the show quite a bit. Kweku Afari joining the show now. The brilliant Kweku Afari.
Yes, Kweku. Come on.
Love to Kweku, come on. Give us a favourite World Cup memory while we're eschewing ours.
Oh, there's so many. Do you know what? And there wasn't a great World Cup for England, but 2006 was a formative World Cup. Joe Cole's goal against Sweden, one of them. That's an incredible goal. Other World Cup memories, obviously, heartbreaking 2010, the Suarez handball. That's a memory that sticks out massively. But most, like you guys, most of my memories that come to England aren't positive ones. And the same as Ghana. Obviously, Ghana have overachieved the World Cup and England have perennially underachieved. But most of my World Cup memories aren't amazing ones.
Let's talk a bit of Ghana, because we're finishing off our World Cup group previews in theory today. We got too close to the World Cup to start these previews. We haven't talked a lot about England's group. As a man who has followed this nation, a man who's done AFCONs and everything else, what threat do Ghana pose for the English football fans who are watching this?
Not too much threat.
What is this?
I'm going into optimistic, and I will be there in Boston when Ghana take on England. And I'm optimistic about that game, weirdly. But if you look at Ghana, their lead up to this World Cup, it hasn't been ideal. Obviously, Carlos Queiroz is the man in the dugout right now, replacing Oso Addo, who had a moribund and terrible showing in the last 12 months as Ghana manager, obviously famously missing out on AFCON qualification, which is a disgrace. But Carlos Queiroz is the man in the dugout right now, and he's obviously a well-versed and experienced manager, but he's going to have to be pragmatic. There's not too much talent in this Ghana squad. Obviously, we know about the exploits of Antoine Semenyo and midfielder Caleb Karinchi, who's linked with Manchester United and a host of other clubs. And obviously, I don't want to talk too much about Thomas Partey, but we know how good a footballer he is on this day. But this is not a vintage Ghana side, and so I don't hold out too much hope. But it's a World Cup and anything can happen. And what I will say about Ghana is that despite our poor showings in AFCONs recently, when it comes to World Cups, we do tend to turn up. So let's see how we get on.
I mean, Kweku, you look at 48 teams, the biggest World Cup ever. We're looking at it and going, let's be honest, if you can nick a win. I mean, we've got Panama in the group. If you win,
do you want my nerdy stats?
You end up getting through.
So someone did like 10,000 simulations of the World Cup. If you finish on 3 points, you've got a 67% chance of going through.
Crazy.
And if you finish on 3 points and at least a -2 goal difference or better, that basically jumps up to like 90%.
What is it? 8 out of 12? Is it 8 out of the 12 or 13 that
get through to the next stage? Yeah.
So it's a bit of a farce, but gives you a chance, Kweku. If Scotland can be making it out the groups, they just got to beat Haiti. You just got to beat Panama.
We've got to beat Panama. We will beat Panama.
Yeah, you will.
So, yeah, I suppose when you play the odds, then Ghana should make out the group. But, I don't know. I'm scarred by Ghana just disappointing me, mainly at AFCONs, but also at World Cups as well. And, yeah, the game really is a Croatia game, right? Because I think everybody in this group expects to beat Panama.
Yeah.
And then Ghana, I think, just need to get a decent result against Croatia, which is no mean feat. Obviously, Croatia are not the side they were even 4 years ago, but definitely not the side they were 8 years ago when they made a World Cup final. And so Ghana should be targeting that game as a game they can get something out of. But I mentioned previously how bad Ghana have been in the lead up to this World Cup. Got a draw against Wales last time out in one of our warm-up games, which was a kind of nice change from the losing run that we've been on. And I feel like there is maybe there's glimmers of optimism amongst Ghana fans because we've got a different manager, and we'll see how we get on. But this is a World Cup that can throw up so many surprises. The climate is a factor as well. And so if Ghana can use those little things to their advantage, then let's see how we get on, and let's see if we can make it deep into this tournament.
One thing is, as well, right, is the fans, right? Because the Ghanaians, yeah, you guys are incredible. Like, you're just breaking it down logically of why it's going to be tough. I'm telling you, and you know this, if we pull up on any of the Ghanaians that are there, there won't be any of this pessimism that you're doing. They're going to believe they're going to win the whole thing. I was with them Ghanaians when they won the game that took them to be able to face Uruguay last year. So at the last one, which was incredible. They was all telling me, Suarez, now this is the end. It's the end of you. We're coming back for revenge. I mean, they lost again. But Like the Ghanaians though, like the pride that they have, they're gonna believe every single step of the way, though, aren't they?
As a Ghanaian, I can say for a fact that we struggle to find the middle ground between pessimism and delusion. And so, yeah, when we get to World Cup, there's going to be deluded Ghana fans that think we're going to go all the way. But when things go badly, they go really badly and we all lose our heads. Yeah. But in terms of fans, Flex, you would have seen it firsthand in Qatar. The fans will never stop singing, never stop dancing. If you watch the warm-up game against Wales, it was a half-filled stadium in Cardiff, but the Ghana fans were making their noise. They were bringing and banging their drums. And so, yeah, the fans will definitely play a factor. Every Ghanaian I know is going to be in Boston watching that game. My dad's flying out. My brother's flying out. My cousin's flying out.
All the Afaris are there. All the Afaris. There. Bring every single Afari.
Everybody's there. And it's going to be an occasion for sure. And there's a lot of Ghanaians in America. My dad's even flying out to Toronto for a Ghana game. So the Ghana fans will be out in force. And I'm looking forward to just seeing the colour and the vibe and the festival football that's enhanced when you have Ghana at a major tournament. And so I'm very, very excited. I'm more kind of excited than I am optimistic, and I'm just there to enjoy it and see what the boys can do. But there's no doubt about it. If Ghana are to progress far into this tournament, Antoine Semenyo has got to be on his A game. He's Ghana's best player. Obviously, Kudus has made the tournament. He's out for injury. And so Antoine Semenyo, who's had a great season off the back of playing for Bournemouth and Man City this year, he has to be his very best for Ghana to really make some noise.
We're not saying Jordan Ayew then? That's not the man to do the business.
Is he still in the squad?
Still in the squad.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But we've managed to get Andre out of there finally.
I was going to say, it's Andre.
But we need, honestly, to get Jordan out.
Gabs, who works on our show, Gabriel Anson, who's also of Ghanaian descent and regularly argues with us about who has the best jollof rice. He is, like, when he said that to me today, he's like, Jordan Ayew still made the squad. I think jaws hit the floor. Come on, what are we doing here?
What's worse, honestly, Neymar making the squad or are you?
Neymar's Neymar. I like Jordan Ayew. I do like Jordan
Ayew. Neymar. That's
but
he's a legend,
and again, it speaks to that the hold that family have in terms of Ghanaian football. Their dad, obviously, Abede Pele, a Ghanaian legend. Andre, great servant for Ghana, same as Jordan. But for me, this should be the last tournament that we see in Ayew because it's gone on for so long. Obviously, Jordan had a sad World Cup last time out. Andre's had his difficulties in a Ghana shirt. I think that era, we've gone past it, right? It's time for new blood to come into this squad and this team and see where Ghanaian football can go because obviously, 2006, that was the generation of Essien and Apia and Mintari. And 2010 was really kind of our apex at the World Cup. But Ghanaian football's kind of fallen on its face in recent seasons. And you know how competitive we are as Ghanaians when it comes to our Nigerian counterparts who've been good in recent AFCON tournaments and Ghana have been terrible.
Where are they? Where are they this summer?
Exactly. That's
They're not there, Will. That's why I love you, Will. That's why I love you. Remind them. They're not there for the second World Cup in a row. Those frauds, those absolute frauds who claim to be the kind of centre of the universe. But when it comes to World Cups, we don't see you there, my guys. And so, yeah, they're not there. We are there. And we're going to enjoy it.
It's a fact.
Is there any part of you, obviously, you are someone of dual citizenship, of dual nationality, is there any part of you that's going to be torn when it comes to Boston in 2 weeks' time? Or are you just...
Not a chance.
Straight Ghana.
Have you got a half and half scarf to wave in the stands?
Not a chance. Not a chance. So my little boy he's mixed race. He's Ghanaian and he's English. I told his mum, I said, I better not see him in an England shirt. I better not see him.
What if he wants a Bellingham shirt? What if he wants a Bellingham shirt? You're going to make him get an Ayew shirt instead?
Whoa. No name on the back. No name on the back. But I'm telling you for a fact, we're all Ghana. We're all Ghana. It's an interesting point you bring up, though, Will, because there's a lot of people who'll be in my situation, not just with Ghana, but other countries that have made this World Cup as well. And a lot of people ask, like, who you support? Is it going to be Ghana? Is it going to be England? Is it going to be whatever country you're from? Or is it going to be England? And I promise you, ask 100 football fans, and 99 of them will tell you that they're going to support their home country, the country where their parents were born, or the country where they're originally from, as opposed to England. And that's nothing to do with not kind of backing England or not supporting England, but it's just a different type of pride when it comes to the country where you're from.
Yeah.
And yeah, when Ghana play against England in Boston, there's no split allegiance. I'm full Ghana.
I think it's a beautiful thing. We had Michael Lahu on the other day from CBS, and we were talking about, obviously, so many of these players that have had the opportunity to play for either the country that they've been domesticated into, that they have been living in, or they were born in a lot of the time, or the kind of countries of what you would their origin. And I think we used to see, you go back to, you think about, we're talking about that great French team of the 90s, for example, it used to be, I'm going to go play for the nation that's going to give me the best opportunity. More and more you're seeing guys say, no, I'm going to play for my African nation. 10 teams from CAF are in this tournament. This is, shout about it, Kweku. Tell us.
100%. And do you know who are the beacons of that in African football? And I know that the villains of the piece at the moment, but it's Morocco. Morocco have got players in Hakimi and Brahim Diaz who would start for Spain, and they chose to play for Morocco. And that's a challenge that Ghana have had for a long time. For the longest time, Ghana convinced Hudson-Odoi and Eddie Nketiah to line up and play for Ghana. And they've been reticent and they've been hesitant to kind of convert. But I feel like with countries like Morocco who are leading the way, and players who can play for the country where they're born or their country of origin are choosing the African country, the more players that we see doing that, the more that we'll see it become a prevalent thing in football. And I think it's only going to be a good thing for African football. But West African countries traditionally have struggled to do that. If you look at the history of it, I don't think there's been a single player, maybe barring Antoine Semenyo, but he's a player that come up through the lower leagues. There's not a single player that could have played for Ghana or Nigeria and England have chosen Ghana or Nigeria. They always choose England. And so hopefully that tide is turning. Hopefully we see a change. And a World Cup like this that encompasses so many African countries will bring about national pride, and it'll bring about a new generation of football fans that will see the country that they're originally from represented on the biggest stage of all. And maybe they'll choose to play for their country of origin as opposed to playing for England or whatever country that they live in right now.
Yeah, it is one of those. I mean, as a Jamaican and Englishman, and when we made it in '98, obviously we didn't have to play England, but it was those thoughts of like, oh, actually, yeah, my actual home nation is there as well, where my parents are from and grandparents, etc., etc. But also you're born in England, so how do you do that? But the pride, 100%. It does go over. If I was in a situation where Jamaica were good enough to get to here, which we should have been, but we wasn't. If I was in that situation, I would definitely be supporting Jamaica over England in that moment if we had to play each other, for sure. So I get what you're saying about that.
It's ackee and saltfish over full English, my guy.
Exactly, bro. Jerk chicken over bacon, eggs, and beans, or something like that. That's how it goes.
Let's not do warring foods. That's not what we're here for. This is the World Cup. It's a melting pot. It's a wonderful thing, and I can enjoy ackee and saltfish and jerk chicken if I want to. Thank you.
You can. You absolutely can. Speaking of England, actually, Kweku, where are you at? Where are you at with England at the minute? How they're shaping up? Me and Will spoke about it earlier about what type of team we would like to see in the game against Costa Rica, the final warm-up game. What type of team do you want to see, and what have you made of England going into this and their chances?
I think we need to create like a no-moan zone, right, in terms of England. The squad's been picked. Yeah. And you can have your favourites. You can say that Cole Palmer should have gone or Morgan Gibbs White. But really and truly, we all need to get on the same page and start banging the drum for England, because we all want the same thing. Obviously, I prefer Ghana to win it, but realistically, I think England got a better chance of Ghana of winning this tournament. I've made my position pretty clear when it comes to England. I think they're gonna struggle this tournament, and it really smells of 2010 to me, where England went in search of the best available tactical manager in Fabio Capello. He was impeccable throughout qualifying, barring the last game, but England were already qualified. They get to the World Cup in South Africa, and it's a disaster from start to finish. And not to get political about it, but I think a country as big as England, a country where football's a religion, I think should be going for an English manager. I think Thomas Tuchel's maybe struggled in recent weeks with the diplomacy of being an England manager, but he does not care. He's not here to please. He's here to win. And so ultimately, if he makes the decisions to get England to a World Cup final and potentially win the World Cup for the first time in 60 years, no one's going to care where he's from. But if you look at the squad and the dynamic of the squad, I don't love the balance. On the left-hand side, I think we're relatively weak. If you're talking about the left back or if you're talking about the left winger, I think that's a position where we might be exploited. And everyone's talked about it, but if Harry Kane goes down, I'm not too sure what we do. What we do need to focus on, though, is what we can do to hurt the opposition. And Harry Kane's one of the best strikers in the world. Jude Bellingham on his day is one of the best midfielders / number 10s in the world. Reece James is one of the best right backs when fit in the world. And so there's a lot of positives to point to. But I can understand why people point to the negatives because we're English and we're pessimistic.
Kweku, brilliant stuff from you as always. And Kweku will join us from out in the US throughout the World Cup. Yes. Thank you very much.
Try and catch you out there, bro.
Enjoy Boston in particular. I'm sure we'll catch up with you around that game. Brilliant stuff, Kweku Afari. Flex, thank you so much for joining me in the studio today.
You so much.
You've got to go off and do talkSPORT too.
I do.
But it's all right because I'll still be here with Warren Barton looking at that Newcastle shirt, talking about the opening game and a bit more England chat as well.
From kickoff to the full-time whistle,
talkSPORT presents
the S Word.
The show for people who love football in North America. And I mean the proper kind, where you only use your feet.
The S Word
from talkSPORT.
Welcome back to the S Word from talkSPORT. Will, Gavin, no Master Test, Fatsy and all Flex alongside me. They've left me all alone.
I do not want beans and
I've got the keys. So, look, we're going to finish off the show today by getting a sensational guest on from the US instead. And he's an old buddy of mine from when I used to do the overnights. Delighted to say that joining this brand new show, you'll have heard him on commentary when you're out in the States. If you're a fan of 90s football, you'll have seen him in a resplendent Newcastle shirt as well. The brilliant Warren Barton is with us. Warren, how are you doing, sir?
No, very well. Nice to see you, my friend. You haven't changed a bit.
You meant to say I've lost weight, Warren, and you meant to say that I was going to say that you look sensational and all of the rest of it. Warren, we find you out in Guadalajara, where you're there for the second game of the World Cup, South Korea against Czechia. What is the atmosphere like in Guadalajara? How close to World Cup fever are they in Mexico?
Yeah, no, it's been building probably the last couple of days since we've been here. Just me and Jackie Oakley are getting ready for the game. Went to the stadium to get the credentials, and there's a lot of Korean fans that are here coming down from obviously America to come and see them. So yeah, it's building up. The atmosphere is here. There's a lot of celebration as people's walking through the airport, and you can just feel it building and building and building. And I can't wait. Obviously, the big game will kick off with Mexico, South Africa, and then it's not a bad appetizer afterwards to go in and have that game as well. So it's not a bad game to kick off with Korea as well. But there's a lot of build up at the moment. Lots of things around the city that are going around. So yeah, it's building up quite nicely.
Oh, obviously, it's a huge footballing nation with such great pedigree. But so you'd expect it to be getting fever pitch there. What about your experience in the US, out on the West Coast? Like, does it finally feel like it's been the NBA Finals and everything else going on that people are getting hyped for the World Cup now?
Yeah, maybe because I'm looking for it. But yeah, it is there. You know, whether I've flown to Kansas City to do a game for the MLS, or whether I've gone to Boston to do a game, or whether I've gone over to DC to do a game, everywhere you're going, there's a World Cup fever. There's the signs there, the balls are there, everything's been built up to it. You're right, there's so much going on, whether it's been the NFL with all the drafts that's been going on, or the NBA finals that are going on, or baseball still got its season in the heart of its season. But soccer now, or football as we call it, is really taking centre stage, which is fantastic. It's silly things like on the commercials that you're seeing, not only Clint Dempsey or Landon Donovan or Mia Hamm or people like that are doing commercials for companies. You're also seeing like a Tom Brady doing different things. You're seeing, Peyton Manning that are doing different things. So there's lots of, in your vision that you're seeing it. You're obviously visually seeing it when you're walking around cities as well. So yeah, it's really grabbing hold of it. And then it's like any World Cup. I'm lucky enough. This will be my 6th World Cup, my 3rd World Cup with Fox. Once the first whistle goes, then everything gets into it, the celebration, the party. There's been a lot of things going on with LA, with obviously the US team being based there. So there's a lot of things going on with Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams. So it's building up. The fever's coming along and everybody's ready for it now.
What about for you personally? Because you said you are 3rd World Cup for Fox, 6th World Cup overall. Like, how are you feeling about this tournament? Because we started the show today by talking about all those kind of issues on the outside in the hope that when the ball gets on the pitch, when the football is being played, that's what the focus is. But it has been a chaotic entrance to this World Cup, let's say.
I think it's always, you go to Qatar was very much the same. But when we went there, well, it was magnificent. I mean, the facilities, the transportation, the game. I mean, you're not going to get a better final, I don't think, than what we had in Qatar. And there was lots of problems there. The same with Russia. Then we were speaking about that. Now, I started off in, Germany, 2016. There was lots of discussions about what might happen there with trouble. And it was arguably one of the most sensational World Cups you're ever going to get. So, and it goes on, Brazil and everything else that goes with it. So every World Cup will have its problems. And like I just said, once the first ball's kicked, you sort of get into the rhythm. And I think the world we live on now is hard, it's difficult. For people to get away from anything, just thinking about the game is difficult because there's a lot of things going on in the world, and rightly so, that they're things that should be said and should be stood up for. But like I said, in Qatar, there were certain problems, but when it went on, and I think this would be the same. Canada, I'm going straight from here up to Vancouver to do a game there. Looking forward, they're going to be excited about it. And then I'll drop down to, of all the places, Los Angeles with Iran to be doing a game there with Jackie. So I've thrown in at the deep end a little bit, but looking forward to it. Well, it's a great World Cup to go forward. And one thing we know with America, in particularly in the latter stages, they know how to put a show on. You know that. You've done enough Super Bowls in your time to know when it's going, it's a great showcase to show everybody.
Yeah, that's it. I'm in the hope that America will totally buy into it, and I think that it truly will.
Oh, they have will. Yeah. When you've been doing NFL, you might have a Newcastle shirt, and someone in a bar or something will start talking about soccer, and it's growing. It's not the number one because the NFL is like the Premier League is in the equation here, and you've got the NBA finals, and there's great stories there with the Knicks, and it could be their time to try and win it, but once it gets going, the Argentinian fans, the Brazilian fans, the English fans, I've got tickets for the England-Croatia game. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be sensational.
So, speaking of the Newcastle shirt, Warren, I've got to ask you, have you seen the release of the new Newcastle shirt today? We have got it on screen that we can put for you to see it. As a man who played in some of the all-time great Newcastle shirts, I've got to get your reaction to this because it's been popping off in the group chats today. People aren't happy.
No, I'm not a lover of it. I did see it. I see it actually when it was leaked a few weeks ago. I don't particularly like the blue. There's too many stripes. Maybe it's because my eyes. Maybe I need to put my glasses on, Will, to make sure I can see because it's a bit blurred. I love the retro when I went back to that. Obviously, it's quite nostalgic for myself and David Ginola and Les Ferdinand and people like that. So, that's nice. But I'm not going to be rushing to buy it. But I know the Newcastle fans, whatever it is, they will go and buy it and go and look after it. I'll wait and get the away shirt, see what that's like.
Honestly, it looks like they're trying to hypnotise the opposition. It's like,
yeah.
It is like a barcode. And the thing is, Adidas have nailed the World Cup. All of their shirts for the World Cup are sensational. And they released their Juventus shirt today as well, which obviously, the pairing, the black and white, vertical stripes. Yeah. And it's stunning. And I'm just like, how have Newcastle ended up with this? It's just astonishing to me.
Yeah, no, it looks like, as you said, in the old days where the TV's going a bit wrong and you need to bang it on the side to straighten it out a little bit. But yeah, no, it wouldn't be on my wish list at the moment, but I'm sure once the lads get going. But yeah, exciting. Got a new goalkeeper. That's quite nice.
If people haven't seen, by the way, the shirts that Warren used to play in, I think we have got some of this. The old 94, 95 with the Newcastle brown ale on. Also the maroon stripes one of my all-time favourites. It's a beautiful shirt and you wear it stunningly, sir.
Yeah, and that's when I used to have a lot of hair, Will. So, yeah, it looks nice. No, it all fitted in, the granddad collars and everything. It happened. It's good when you've got Ginola that looks $1 million wearing it and Les Ferdinand. So that helps. Yeah, great time, great uniform that we was wearing, kit that we was wearing. So, yeah, brilliant to go on.
You look 2 million, Warren. You look 2 million. Don't listen to anyone else.
2 million lira. 2 million lira.
You mentioned you got tickets for England, Croatia. What are your expectations for the English at this tournament?
I think England will be difficult to play against, pragmatic in what they do, and I think they're going to be efficient. You won't want to play against Harry Kane. We've got to wrap him up, as everyone said, in cotton wool. Without him, we would have a major problem. But he's gone with... I liked what I see with Rashford. I think he's got the love of the game back in his belly. I like with Bellingham. He looked angry and wanted to make a point. And that's the Bellingham that we see 18 months ago when he was going to be burst on and going to be like arguably one of the best players in the world, which I think he still can be and will be. And going forward, I think he's a sensational player. But I think we're just going to grind out results, and it may not be, entertaining football like we're talking about, but they're going to get results. They're going to go along, and once you get into the latter stages and build into it, you won't want to play against us. Let Brazil, Argentina, France, Spain, Portugal do their bit, and we're just chip away doing it. So I think we've got a good chance. Well, I'm not going to say it's coming home because we've been saying that for 60 odd years, but I think I'm serious here. I wouldn't want to play us because I think we've got pace, we've got strength, and we've got goals with Harry Kane. And there ain't too many. I think he's arguably the best striker in the world at the moment. He said himself, mentally, physically, he's wonderful. It wasn't great against New Zealand, but listen, I've played in games where it's like a pre-season. It's hard. You're playing against opposition that it's their cup final, and it make it difficult. It's not going to be entertaining, but Costa Rica today will probably be the same. They're 45 minutes of doing what they're doing, but I think there's a real underlying desire just to grind out and be difficult to play against. And I don't really care how it happens, but it would be wonderful if we did get all the way with this. But there's lots of good teams before that.
We were discussing earlier in the show, you mentioned Rashford there. Rashford, Gordon, like what they offer on the side, slightly differently on the left-hand side. If you're playing right back, what would you rather be playing against? A guy that is going to crash inside, that's going to crash the boxes, like Marcus Rashford, who's going to go direct, or a guy who's going to try and get outside you, get to the byline, whip the ball in? Like, what are the unique challenges of that for you?
Yeah, no, say arguably Ryan Giggs. Ryan Giggs was head down, I'm going to cross it. I actually prefer playing against someone like Ryan because we go toe-to-toe. When it's playing with, say, Robert Perez that used to play little combinations, little 1-2s, that's difficult to make because he's taking me into areas I don't want to go, knowing that I'm leaving space for maybe someone else to go in. I just love Rashford to say, right, this is my tournament. This is the time that I'm going to take people on. Left foot, right foot, cross the ball. Same with Gordon. He looked like, obviously, he'd had a lot of travelling, done the move. I had the same thing when we did it with Newcastle. I had to leave England, go down, sign for Newcastle, do all the press, come back. It takes a little bit out of you as well. And then you look at, Morgan's a good player. We've got other players that can come in, Ollie Watkins. So, yeah, for me as a fullback, I'd rather play against someone that's direct. You don't see that too often. You don't see a Gareth Bale. You don't see someone that's going to get the ball down and play. So I wouldn't mind seeing that a little bit with England to do that, because you've got Harry Kane. You give him half a chance, he'll put the ball in the back of the net. So Alan Shearer used to give me a few words. If I didn't get down the outside and cross it, he would let me know to put it in the box the next time. So, yeah, I like what I see with Rashford. I want him to go at people. He can come inside. He can go on the outside. But go and enjoy it. Go and express yourself and have fun, because he's undoubtedly a good talent. And let Bellingham do his bit. And Rice, we've got, as I said, Elliot, I like what we've got. I wouldn't want to play against them because there's not too many weaknesses there.
Warren, brilliant stuff from you, as always. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Enjoy your World Cup. I'm sure we'll catch up again not too soon, but the brilliant Warren Barton joining us on the S Word. And thank you so much for joining us on the show today on YouTube, on Tubi, wherever you've been tuned in and watching us. The World Cup gets underway tomorrow, and we'll have it all covered 7 days a week here on the S Word.
Big name reaction from both sides of the pond. The S Word from talkSPORT.